Hello, everyone, and welcome to our stream today of Valpo Esports' Overwatch, specifically the Valpo Shield team and their series against Purdue White. I'm your host, Dikembe. I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And a couple of interesting things going into this series, right? Obviously, we have our maps, right? Our list, starting off on Busan, especially. But speaking just league-wise here, we're looking at Valpo as a 3-1, kind of second in the division, while Purdue White is that 2-2. So it's a really, really close matchup that we have coming in here. And then speaking about NECC rules, May is now disabled in competitive play right now, especially for this series. And that's kind of huge because we saw our last series with Valpo Shield, the May kind of get pulled out a lot, kind of get rocked, especially as that counter pick that we're looking for. But that ice wall glitch that you see where you could May can just walk right through that ice wall is just too dangerous now. They have to get rid of it, which
Yep.
makes sense. But
Like we saw last week, Valpo did actually play this character. So I know that was our substitute Solaris who subbed in, and he really likes his May. So we'll have to see if he gets in here and what his pick is without that May. And
definitely. I mean, we're seeing as we step on the Busan here, I think the biggest thing is this map is obviously hometown of Diva, right? But with this point especially, that kind of circular what's it called cylinder, right? I'm sorry, I just took physics. I should know what this is. The cylinder that we're looking at here is kind of an interesting spot for teams to play around, especially with the high ground offered coming through that choke point right off a spawn. It's going to be interesting kind of if teams kind of shape their comp around this. As we can see, Valpo electing for the Pharah because of a lot of open space that there is. It's
yeah.
really hard to lock down Pharah on this map. And there's
Oh.
the Sojourn. Never
Yep.
mind.
Uh,
What did I expect? Sojourn's like number one pick in Overwatch 2 right now.
I was about to say I don't think we've seen the Farah come out of Valpo yet,
Yeah.
and there's the switch.
Hey,
So.
let me live with my copium a little bit here. I mean, we're seeing our usual engages, and there's an early pick right there for Overwatch or for Valpo Esports. Lucio getting the kill on Sojourn. Sojourn kind of shifting and jumping up there, just jumping in a little bit too fast. Zarya getting a lot of shield here, pushing in. And we're going to see a really, really fast fight here. Reaper hopping on that Winston, being able to get that kill. Zarya killing the Lucio as well. Kind of backing them up. Dirty Wolf finishing off the Kiriko in the backline, leaving them there, leaving Purdue White to be pushed back right now. And that may be a first early take for Valpo Esports.
Yeah, these two teams, they started fighting right away. Didn't even go for the point right away. It was just sitting empty for a while.
And I think, honestly, you have to look at how dangerous those two choke points are, right? Because you don't want to fight on that point with all that open space that adds for so many more variables you don't want to account for. But with this choke point, it's a lot easier to aim. It's a lot easier to choke people down. As we see right there, Winston being forced to hop on point, he gets picked off by that Zarya. Really
Yeah,
just you want to fight, you want to force that fight for your team in this lane, as we see Valpo Esports doing right now. And with the Zarya full shield or full power as well, it's gonna start getting really, really dangerous. There's the ult coming out from Zarya, the Kiriko cleansing, but that's not gonna be enough as Valpo Esports pushes with another triple kill, looking kind of dominant here with 40% already on the point.
yeah. And I mean, I just want to highlight Fuse here. We're seeing him pop up in the kill feed. This
Hmm.
this really is a battle Lucio. I know he's used to playing that support role, but he plays those Zenyatas, the Lucios. He loves to play really offensive on the support role.
And I think something that's really huge, especially, and it looks like we're going to have a boost here with the Reaper ult, trying to speed boost him into that team, but that Winston bubble is going to stop him from getting much damage there. But he's still going to get 2 kills off of that Wistful, killing Winston as well. And that's going to be another shutdown for Purdue's push here. They're going to have to try and regroup and just figure something out for one last push going on to this point.
I mean,
78%.
Purdue does have 4 ults, but this is looking dominant. Valpo
Mhm.
is basically in their spawn, and I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen a switch at all from Purdue. This comp just doesn't seem to be working. The Winston's getting shut down, so
And it looks like we're going to have a couple of ults here. There's the Kiriko ult, there's the Winston ult, and the Lucio ult. Combating each other. The Sojourn popping off as well, trying to hit some shots, but not going to be able to hit anything as Purdue's ult will hit. Getting that pick on Kiriko, or getting that pick on Sojourn, Kiriko being forced to back up here. And, I mean, we talked about it, right? That was a huge fight for Purdue there, being able to get those ults off, just kind of use their advantage, but now their ult economy, they really only have Reaper. right? And we're looking at that Kiriko, we're looking at that Zarya on Valpo Esports' side. As you can see, Purdue's taking this high ground here because they really can't afford to get pushed back. And there they are jumping back here. It looks like it's going to be a fight on point. There comes the Reaper ult coming from Purdue, but Purdue Reaper is going to get picked off by Lucio, finishing off there. There's the Graviton. Graviton coming out, trapping two squishies. You know, the jump on point. Winston getting a pick on Lucio, but he is outnumbered on point right now.
Still a couple members of Purdue here to try and contest, but this is looking like it will be a Valpo win on the first map.
Reaper just looking to contest a little bit. Same with the Lucio on point, trying to get that speed boost. Gonna be able to hop back on point, but it's gonna be picked up by Zarya, and it looks like unless Sojin hops on point here, there we are. Valpo Esports is going to secure first point. I mean, you talked about Fusick kind of running around with that Lucio. I think it's huge because the difference between a Lucio that just like heals for his team and a Lucio that's able to get in your face is the displacement you offer for your team. So being able to jump in, get in people's faces, and then use the speed boost to get out, hitting those shots is going to be essential, and that extra DPS is really helping them win this fight here.
Yep. And at the top here, we are going to see Purdue switch over to the Zarya. I really like this and think it's going to help their team a lot more. I mean, Wistful is showing how strong of a tank Zarya is. So
Definitely.
And they're also going to switch to the Baptiste. So I'm glad they're switching some things up. Hopefully they can make it a little more competitive here on this second point.
I do like these picks from Purdue. I mean, we saw how strong the Zarya was last time. We have the McCree and the Baptiste switched up a little bit because as you're going to see, this kind of straightaway that you're going to have right here allows for a lot of fighting, a lot of damage to come out as both Zarya bubbles come out. It really just like screen spam. I mean, what do we expect from an Overwatch game, right? But it looks like Purdue is going to take a little bit of an advantage here, pushing in. Reaper trying to teleport up top. Full power on both the Zaryas, but it looks like Purdue is going to take the advantage with that first fight, being able to pick 3 and pushing back Sojin.
Yep, they were just able to kind of single out Wistful. It looked like all 5 members of Purdue were just collapsing on the Valpo tank, and you know, he goes down, unable to do anything. So.
I mean, we saw right there Purdue was communicating, being able to stick together in that one choke point and walked out together, while Valpo was forced to split up. And Valpo being split up, we're gonna see right here why they chose these different camps, why they chose that Baptiste and that McCree, that Reaper, right, that Zarya. Right there, there's the Baptiste ult, and that shuts down practically the whole push from Valpo Esports, as 2 are gonna go down here, both Kiriko and Zarya, along with Sojin, forcing Fanbooty and Reaper kind of just to hide a little bit in this corner, allow for his supports to come back. But I mean, those choke points, right? That kind of straightaway that we're looking for, that Baptiste ult was huge. McCree being able to throw that bomb now, that concussion is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, Reaper's very strong on Busan as a pick, and Zarya we've seen just be a complete utility to the team.
And speaking of Zarya, Purdue's Zarya just picked up her ultimate, so this is going to be a tough fight for Valpo.
It looks like we have a little bit of a split here from Zarya. Purdue's Zarya being able to drop the Graviton, but being cleansed by that Kiriko, being able to walk out. Looks like Reaper's going to get a lot of damage on this Zarya here, being forced to back up a little bit too. And Zarya gets the pick on Reaper. Dirty Wolf being able to right-click on that McCree as well. And here comes the Zarya ult from Valpo Esports, being able to pick up double combined with the Reaper ult. And that's going to pretty much open up point here, forcing Zarya to back up. And that's going to be a team wipe, forcing them to respawn.
And I mean, the big difference in that fight to me was that Kiriko, you know, the cleanse was able to save them from that Zarya ult, and just putting down the healing, being able to let them survive, and then no Kiriko on the side of Purdue, and then our Zarya ult comes in. So
I mean, if we're looking at fights too, that's huge for Valpo's economy, because now you have 3 ults up versus really 2 ults right now with Reaper coming up as well. I mean, you're going to have enough to counter it, especially after winning that fight. And here comes the Sojin ult and the McCree ult from both sides. McCree gets able to pop off on that Sojin, stopping her ultimate. Kiriko ult on point, and it looks like Purdue might be looking to push down here, but Fanbooty gets the kill on Lucio. Zarya from Purdue gets the kill on Kiriko, but there's a double kill for Valpo coming right back. And it looks like Purdue's going to be caught on point again. Fanbooty popping off with a triple kill right there, being able to teleport up and away.
Oh, and he's going to get the height here in kind of a sneaky spot. But, you know, this has been a much closer point. Purdue still with the lead, so I think it's going to come down to the wire here.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're going to have to watch out here because there were a couple of ults coming that way. I mean, I think that Purdue is in the better spot right now, having that Reaper ult. That's a lot of damage, especially with that Zarya at 73. I mean, we're looking for a combo from Valpo, but it's just not up yet outside of Wistful's Graviton. Which, granted, can win a fight in itself, but it's going to be a lot, especially considering that Lucio's getting up. And there comes the Graviton, the cleanse from Kiriko. And there's a huge kill there. And there's a triple kill. Famputi being able to take 2, and Zarya shutting down that Reaper ult as well. That's actually huge for Valpo Esports, getting 86, and it looks like Purdue is just going to have to try and scrap to get on this point here, get a speed boost coming up, but it might not be enough. They'll be able to test here, maybe? Yep, they'll be able to get on point here, but Wistful picking up a kill, although Reaper is able to get to the backline, kick out Fusic. Wistful getting another kill. Churro popping off in the end, getting that Zarya and clearing it. Looks like it's going to be a 2v5 on point here. And there's the ult coming in from Famputi. Picking up 2, and that's going to clear the point. And that's going to be point 2. And the game 1 going to Valpo Esports. I mean, if we're talking about really crucial elements of that game, it was control and being able to stick with your team, right? The communication really we're looking for, as we're going to see Wistful right here, is there's times to stick with your team, there's times that you have to split. We found that Valpo Esports would try to split whenever they knew that Zarya ult was up, when they knew those hard, large AoE damages were up, but as you can see here, there was just a consistent catch out from Valpo Esports being able to grab Purdue White's team in those ultimates and stick them in these choke points. And I think just that communication of being able to stick with your team is a huge difference, especially fighting on Busan.
Yeah, I mean, Overwatch, the name of the game is those ultimates, and Valpo just had the slight edge. They're building up their charge a little faster. They're able to be more effective with them, and dare I say, a Zarya diff there in that second point.
I mean, hey, the Zarya, what's it called? OG from Purdue White's team was playing a good Zarya. It was just, it's that team play that you have to look for. And I think that that's one of those where Valpo prefers these smaller maps. I mean, we've seen them do well on Ilios. We've seen them do well on Hanamura. Or not Hanamura, sorry, Hanamura's not even here. We've seen them do well in Lijiang Tower, right?
Yep.
These kind of smaller, condensed more maps, we've seen them play really well together. And I think that works out for them. But going into map 2, going into King's Row, we might see a little bit of a flip up here, as Purdue White is going to have more space to kind of play around. I mean, entering this point, obviously, we see that choke point right there. A couple of high grounds, so I will expect maybe a Hanzo to come out of Valpo Esports' side.
Yep, and we know Dirty Wolf does like that Hanzo.
He
So.
does love that Hanzo. I mean, if we look to the right here on this point especially, this right area right here that we're staring at, right to the right as well, those both allow really, really nice getaways for this Hanzo, especially if we pair it with some type of support that can jump to him. Kiriko. But it looks like we're going to have the Sojourn and the Bastion. Hey, welcome back, Bastion. It only took him like 2 weeks to get unbanned because, he was completely broken. But we'd love to see the Overwatch 2 skin.
Yeah, and I mean, if you had a chance to tune in to our exhibition game last week against Murray State, we saw Famputi's Bastion have a huge impact,
Yep.
especially with that Bastion Zarya combo. I know it's kind of a niche one, but they were able to pull that off several times last week. So
Definitely. I mean, I think it's so hard to counteract, especially because Bastion's 3 charges on his ult is enough damage to damage through that Bastion, or through that Lucio. Baptiste's immortality. It looks like he's going to get really chipped here, as Purdue is wasting no time to get to the statue. Trying to walk back, forcing him into that second mode, trying to get that damage out. Zarya already at 60 power. Now at 100 power. Really chipping people. Zarya gets to the backline. Dirty Wolf is able to pick the Hanzo from Purdue's team. The immortality coming up, but it's not going to be enough as Dirty Wolf gets the second pick. Wistful almost going down there. Famputi being able to kill that Zarya as well. Wistful stopping down that Stoja, and it looks like that's going to be a team kill immediately for Valpo Esports' side. Really fast push. I like what Purdue was doing there, but I don't think that Hanzo, kind of that comp that they were looking for, really matches that.
yeah, and like we said, this is kind of another one of those tight choke points. It seems like our map pool this week is really favoring Valpo's style.
Definitely. I mean, it is favoring Valpo's style, especially, but I feel like there are ways to play around this, right? There's a lot more angles to King's Row that you have outside of this choke point, but Purdue is somewhat forcing this right now, and as we're seeing here, Valpo's loving it, right? They have the full power Zarya, they have the Bastion pushing down. This is what you want when you're fighting these choke points. You want the team to funnel there.
Yep. Purdue does have 2 ults up, but Valpo has 3, so we might see a lot of these coming out next fight.
I think we will see that Hanzo fight get out because if I'm them, I'm trying to trade off that as fast. Nothing against Park. I don't think he's doing bad. I just think that with this comp that Valpo is running, there's the Bastion Zarya combo that we were looking for. And it looks like that's going to be a double kill on Lucio and Hanzo, being able to give Zarya time to push up. Fusick finishing off the Baptiste on Baptiste damage action. Fusick getting a double kill there on the Sojin as well. And a couple of bombs just being launched in the spawn, trying to delay their pushback a little bit. I mean, you talked about earlier, before this game started, that combo that we were looking for in that exhibition match against Murray State. I mean, we saw it right there. It's so dangerous. Even through the Baptiste immortality field, it still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I mean, we are sitting at full power Zarya here, which is going to be a little bit dangerous. Purdue being able to push up to the statue here, kind of play this roundabout.
And Dirty Wolf's getting sneaky over here with some of these angles. He's just been sitting up on this height we were talking about. He's been able to, you know, put down good damage from here.
Definitely. I mean, I think we're seeing Banana Man from Purdue White's side kind of adjust as well, walking up to that side as well, forcing Dirty Wolf to push back and not be in that choke fight with his team. But, I mean, good for Valpo being able to hold up there.
And, you know, last fight there, no ultimates. So Purdue has now built up all 5. So you got to think they're going to pull something out to win this next fight.
Definitely. I mean, they're just looking for an opportunity. If I'm then, you have to use one of them to initiate. You're going to have to bite the bullet a little bit here. And looking maybe for a Zarya ult right here coming on this point. And there it is, the Zarya ult coming out. And there's the return Zarya ult, the Hanzo coming out. But Dirty Wolf sitting in the back line with the double kill as well. Whistle being able to pick up the Zarya and be able to finish with the triple kill. A really great positioning from Dirty Wolf, being able to use that high ground. I mean, it's what we were looking for from Purdue, being able to use those ults, but it just wasn't enough as Dirty Wolf hits his shots.
Yeah, this position is so powerful. It seems like Purdue isn't even looking his way up here at all. He's just got free range down onto the enemies below, so.
It looks like we're going to have a ult here from Bastion. I mean, we're seeing 20 seconds left. You're looking to just try and stop this push.
Oh, but Wistful does go down here, actually.
Wistful does get taken down, giving Purdue their push that they wanted, being able to get a couple of chips on point. It looks like they might have a last-second chip here, even with no ultimates. Whistle being able to get back with the Reinhardt, but it's not going to be enough as payload spawns and gives them that 2-minute timer back. Huge for Purdue. White being able to push on that point here. And there's going to be a couple of points. Valpo really has to worry about staggering too much here. That is a full power Zarya pushing up on Wistful here. His shield going down as well. The immortality field going up, being able to just push him back out enough for Baptiste to heal him. But I mean, Valpo was kind of just lost on that point. We're going to see the staggered respawn coming back from Bastion, forcing them back into the second really angle.
Yeah, I mean, good job by Purdue getting in at the very last second there. You thought Valpo might have been able to contest, but just slightly too late, and you know, now they've got a second chance here.
And I really think that Purdue White's DPS are starting to hit their stride as we see the Kiriko ult come out from Valpo Esports and the ult from Reinhardt. Fusick picking up double kill on Baptiste, and Thiopity finishing off Sojourn as well for 4 kills. Hanzo being forced in the backline and killed by Fusick. I mean, we saw Fusick being a damage on Lucio, but now he has a hit scan.
Yeah.
And he has a lot more damage potential, so it's getting a little bit scary.
You know, I don't think we've seen him break out the Baptiste much, but it makes a lot of sense with
it
his
definitely
playstyle.
does. I mean, being able to be aggressive, add that extra damage to his team, we're seeing it here especially. I was about to say that Purdue White's DPS are kind of finding their groove a little bit here on where they want to be in this map. We're seeing that Hanzo kind of jump around, not really seeing him much in the elims, but the damage is definitely there. Sojourn being able to jump up, and it looks like we're going to have a Zarya ult here with the Kiriko ult and the Hanzo ult, but the immortality field being thrown to the left, being able to save Reinhardt at least for a little bit before he goes down to Zarya. Full power, being able to get that double kill on Famputy. The triple kill coming out, might be a quadra here. And that's a team kill for Purdue White. Sprout picking up the last kill on Fusick in that backline. Huge combo of ults there. We're seeing kind of just like Purdue White go with All right, we're gonna spend 2 minutes kind of skirmishing with you, throw around a little bit, but then we're just gonna burst fire you with all of our ults. We're
Yeah,
gonna throw them all out.
good fight again by them, but still running out of time. Probably going to have to go into overtime if they want to pick up this second point here.
Definitely, it is gonna be a push here, and we're looking at Valpo Esports' ults here. And there's the Bastion ult coming out, being able to force people back, getting the pick on Sojourn. That's a huge pick. Lucio ult finally getting that charge and being able to pop it here, giving them that chance on point to reset that Overwatch timer. And there's the ult from Reinhardt as well. Dirty Wolf being able to pop up to the top, get that double kill. Kiriko ult coming out, and they're going to be able to clear point here and stop them right before second checkpoint on King's Row. I mean, obviously, pretty good fights when it came to Purdue using their ults, being able to get that use out of them. But when you don't have those up, if you're relying on your ults, that burst is going to be really hard to push a consistent objective with, like a payload.
Yeah, I mean, Purdue did a pretty good job of, settling into that game. I wish we would have gotten to see, what would have happened if that first 3 minutes or so
Yeah.
just didn't exist,
Definitely.
But, that's what Valpo does, just having that aggression, being able to start off strong and just push them back, all the way to spawn from what we've seen so far tonight. So.
Definitely. And I want to see how this kind of relates to them being on offense, because we've seen Valpo in the past a couple of games, right, especially in their exhibitions. If that first fight doesn't go well for them, it does take them a little bit to get back on their feet. So I'm interested to see how they're going to take this first fight. Are they going to elect to fast push it like Purdue White and kind of force that group together fight that they always prefer? Or
well,
yes! Go with the first pick, King's Row Widowmaker. Yes, go for the snipe. I love this. I love this. Every single solo queue game you play on King's Row, there will be an attacking Widowmaker for like the first 5 seconds. They will go aim for the backside, see if they can get a pick, right? And it looks like aiming around a little bit, and there's a shot being able to force Sojourn off the high ground, and that's going to give enough time for Valpo Esports to push up a little bit. He's still watching, trying to make sure that they're just not going to chill up there. And there's Valpo Esports pushing in strong, just like we said, and there's a quadra kill coming in, almost getting the charge, and that's an immediate team kill for Valpo Esports. Great push on the point. I mean, forcing that Sojourn off of that high ground and then forcing them into that choke point, being able to back up with that fast push from Reinhardt-Lucio combo.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Wistful and Fan Beauty with the flashy plays, but it really was that Widowmaker up top, just, the pressure, the threat of it, and getting Sojourn off that position that we saw was successful for Valpo, so.
But it looks like Fan Beauty's just going to get a little bit too greedy here, getting picked by Hanzo. I mean, not the biggest deal. He's going to be up in like 2 seconds. Hart getting another kill on Dirty Wolf. Widow still hasn't swapped. I mean, we might see a swap right here.
And Wistful already has his ult up, too.
Yep. There's the swap to Sojourn. Sojourn definitely the better pick going into this. Banana Man getting the kill on Churro. It looks like Purdue now, without that pressure of that up top fight, they're able to kind of just take the objective how they want.
Yeah, and we're seeing this Sojourn E doing a really good job of, zoning Valpo in that little choke there.
Definitely. I mean, I think, honestly, that first push would not have gone as well if Dirty Wolf... Oh, and there's going to be a huge ult coming from Valpo Esports is Reinhardt being able to knock back, only hitting the Zarya, getting pushed back, but Park and Sprout, Park picking up a double kill. He's feeling himself now on that Hanzo. He's really hitting his shots now. He's starting to get those picks for his team. Sprout getting a little bit more aggressive on that Lucio too, getting that damage off. And it looks like Valpo's early momentum is starting to get a little bit tampered here.
Yeah, and Fan Beauty's switching back to the Bastion. Still not quite worried if you're Valpo because you do have so much time after getting that initial point so quickly. So.
Definitely. I mean, we're seeing here, this is going to probably be the hardest choke point they have to push before that overtime timer. So if they can get through this, it's going to be a little bit easier to work those corners around, especially considering that Reinhardt ult that they have being so dangerous on King's Row as payload. I mean, we're seeing Fan Beauty start to push up a little bit, that pressure. I agree with this kind of pick here. You just need a little bit more tankiness. And there's the Zarya ult coming in from Purdue with the Hanzo ult as well. pushing in, but Kiriko Cleanse being able to keep people in. Baptiste Immortality Field keeping them up as well. Famputi being able to pick up the kill on Hanzo with that grenade. And there's the huge ult we were talking about. There's 4 people down for Purdue White's team. Dirty Wolf being able to clean up, get a couple of kills here, the slap around, and that's going to be a team wipe for Valpo Esports. I mean, we talked about it just getting past that push. Once they got past that choke point, we have to give credit to Fusic on those Baptiste tosses that he's had, being able to swap to this Lucio now.
Yeah, and I mean, on the side of Valpo, the sustain is just so much with the cleanse from Kiriko and the immortality from Baptiste formerly.
Oh wait, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. There's the ult from Baptiste, but that's gonna be game trying to push on. I'm sorry, folks. We never had a Baptiste on our side. It was Lucio ult. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
I was thinking immortality, Lucio, right? That extra health is what I was
Still
looking for.
does a good job of sustaining, and we're actually going to see the play.
He's got the sub name. Hold on. He got the OG Neo Gun sub name. I respect that. No, but we're going to see the play from OG. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
My fault. But
this was the quadra kill that we saw earlier from Purdue's Zarya, so doing a good job. Zarya obviously really strong, so I don't know if we had any quadra kills ourselves, so that makes sense there.
We did have that triple kill from Famputi in Busan.
Yes.
That was it. But I mean, also Dirty Wolf had that quadra. Never mind. Dirty Wolf
That's
popped
true.
off on
Yes.
defense. But
Yes.
no, I mean, we've seen a couple of flashy plays. It's been interesting to watch because the comps that we're forcing, they're really fast. I mean, favorite thing about especially casting Overwatch is personally is being able to see these teams that want to be aggressive, want to step in because really, I mean, it's a confidence check, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of positioning you can do. I talked about it, right? There's a lot of high ground that you can take, but at the end of the day, you have to walk in, you have to be like, I'm better than you, right? My abilities are better than you in these fights, and we've seen both teams do that, right? We've seen both teams take these very, very confident fights, being able to jump in on point, take just kind of the areas that we have, use their aim, use their abilities, and get these team wipes.
Yeah, and it looks like we're getting into the next game pretty quickly here, actually. One thing I do want to touch on is I want to see Purdue play this Kiriko.
Yeah.
It's been so good for Valpo. We've seen it even in the pro scene. So many people talking about how strong she is. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a really good pickup and help Purdue out a lot. With the cleanse for the Zarya ult for all kinds of things. It really is so versatile.
I agree with you on that one because I don't think that the supports that they're picking are bad. Don't get me wrong. They're going with the consistent Lucio, the consistent Baptiste. We saw an Ana, right, from the couple of past matches, just for a couple of lives. But with the comp that Valpo Esports is running, there's so much that you would really need to cleanse here, right? It's not even just like a cleanse of, okay, I can get you out of this bubble, or I can get you out of this like stun, or maybe like Sojourn E, Zarya ult, right? But the immortality that it gives you for that half second against ults like Bastion, against that damage boost of Baptiste being able to push you away, the utility that excuse me, folks. The utility that Kiriko offers for this team, especially against Valpo Esports, is invaluable. But we are going to see the Genji come out from Purdue White, which is interesting, especially after those Genji nerfs that are going to be coming in here.
Yeah.
Lowering his shuriken count, lowering that damage overall that he can do.
And the other interesting pick too is a Zenyatta on both sides. We've seen this before from Valpo. Fusk, aka Ben, they call it Benyata,
Yeah.
so.
No, I mean, the Benyata is strong on this. I mean, Route 66 is that's like his comfort pick almost, because we've seen it so dangerous. But, I mean, Winston, we're going to see the anti coming from Ana here. OG and Park being able to push up, get the double kill. Zarya being able to bump up, get a couple of shields here. And the dive coming in from Purdue White's brothers that they have at that DPS role is huge. And we're seeing this Ana now, right? That utility we were talking about. I mean, screw Kiriko. If you could just anti everyone, nobody heals. You don't need immortality when you're just doing damage to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Kiriko, but it is a switch up on support. Finding early success for Purdue. Also going for the Winston. And I do want to point out this map is, a little more open than the ones we've seen before. We highlighted how good Valpo is in close quarters, but, so far this long open highway has been for Purdue's favor.
Definitely. I mean, we saw as well, right? We're gonna catch up with supports on Valpo Esports' side, switching to that Ana, that Kiriko, because I mean, you saw the anti be so strong in these open areas that now you want an anti yourself and you want to cleanse from that anti. So having that is just invaluable right now for this team. So we're gonna see a little bit of a comp switch up. The Valpo being forced to back up, and that Genji coming in clutch as well, being able to dive in with that Winston, going down the low health. Winston being forced to jump back as well. But this is giving enough time for Payload to push under this point. Ana getting picked, or Hanzo getting picked on that left side, but almost killing that Reaper as well. Reaper being forced to push up. Genji sitting there as well, get a couple of damage. There's the nano boost coming out on that Winston as well. Being able to jump kind of on this point here. Almost got that ultimate, but not really going to come out too much here as Dirty Wolf does go down.
Winston on a Winston in action here.
Definitely. Pause. But we do have Valpo Esports' Winston also jumping to their backline as well. But that is a ton of damage and ton of healing coming from that Ana, focusing on that Zenyatta, especially with that anti on that Winston. It looks
Yeah,
like Valpo Esports is going to be pushed back. I mean, we talked about it. They like these close range engages, but they've really been forced out in the open here. And they're just going to need time to adjust.
yeah, and I mean in that last fight, we saw the Winston coming out for Purdue. We know how much of a menace that hero is to the backline. So
Oh, definitely. I mean, jumping up here especially, just trying to get a couple of kills here. Not even just like getting the kills, I would say, actually, excuse me. Just being able to sit there. I mean, Winston is a big body, especially with Genji. Speaking of Genji, getting that kill on FanPewDie's Tracer, forcing him to back up a little bit.
yeah, we do have
Just,
4 ults on the side of Valpo and 3 on the side of Purdue. So this could be a fun next fight here.
yep. I mean, we're not seeing many like flashy plays here, but that pressure is so strong in this game. I think Purdue White is doing a great job right now pressuring up, but there's gonna be a huge sleep on Ana, or on this Winston by that Ana, with Zenyatta ult coming out as well. Park and Dirty Wolf trading 1-for-1. Whistle being able to get the kill on the Ana in the background. It looks like we have a Soldier 76 switch. Genji being one shot. Whistle getting that kill on Zenyatta. And just slapping around, Fusic finishing off that Winston. I mean, great sleep from that Ana on Purdue White team from Azuki.
Yeah, Azuki's really been having a huge impact on this Ana. The sleeps, the antis, has their ultimate up as well. So
Definitely. I mean, we're going to see the Hanzo ult right here as well. Whistle being forced to jump out. Just really like trying to get rid of it, trying to push that off point. Especially with how much damage that's going off, I have no chance that he will get it back immediately. The anti coming out, stopping FanPewDie from sitting in his healing orb, and Zenyatta and Ana kind of running him down. Kiriko ult coming out, but Genji ult coming in the backline, being able to kill that Kiriko. The anti coming out, but Genji picks up 2, being able to hop up to the top line. Trying to get out, but it's going to be a triple kill. The Diva switch allowing for a little bit more pushing, a little bit more damage than that Winston was coming out with, stopping that stalemate. We
yeah,
do see 95% on this Soldier being able to jump on, just try and contest a little bit. Bouncing up, he's got his ult, but he's not going to be able to get off on time as Winston hops on as well with him. Being able to jump up to the top lane. Payload is being pushed down though on point, being able to hop back on contesting. And it looks like it's just going to be Kiriko on point here. Valpo Esports kind of having a hard time defending, and that's going to be a full 3 points going to Purdue Whiteside.
man, Purdue came out with an absolute vengeance. I mean, you think they would have substituted players or something? It seemed like a
Mm-mm.
completely different team here on Route 66.
No, I mean they were taking that advantage of those wide kind of pushes that they had, right? I mean, if we're looking at Route 66's push and their open, right, the very opening push, right? I think that was huge in giving momentum to Purdue White because as we scroll over here, right, you're gonna see there's that little bit of entrance and then there's the gas station. Gas station is where most defense teams are gonna want to set up here, right? But the way that they pathed is they took that kind of outside
Ready
range
for
that
battle.
we were looking for, right? They weren't really walking up on this road much, but they were able to take that high ground and then come from the backside of that road while pushing that payload and use those kind of convergings to jump with that Winston, with that Genji, have that Hanzo get up to that high ground, and kind of them converging on that gas station point was enough to push Valpo Esports off and stop them from forcing the fight that they wanted to.
Yep, and apologies to our viewers. Didn't update the score yet, but Valpo was in a 2-1 lead after taking Busan and Kings Row. So, Purdue playing with a little bit of fire under their butts here. Match
Definitely,
point.
definitely.
You gotta get this map. So,
Five,
I mean,
four,
if Valpo's gonna
three,
have to match them here
two,
if they're looking for a
one.
3-0 out, but
Attackers
I don't
incoming.
feel like the pressure is still on
Stop
Purdue
the
White
payload.
here in this fight, especially with Route 66 being more of an offensive map in my opinion. But I mean, playing under pressure is strong as Park starts out with that first kill on that Sojin. I mean, gonna stop a little bit of their just speed push that they're looking for. Both Winstons coming out from both sides. Famputi going down on the Genji as Winston pushes back from the top. Park being able to get a kill on Churro. We're really seeing his damage as Hanzo start to make a huge impact here for this Purdue White team. As Fusik back on that Zenyatta is able to pick him back. Um,
yeah, I mean, the DPSs have really found their stride. You started talking about it in the back half of Kings Row. How this Hanzo seemed like he just warmed up a little bit.
Definitely. I feel like he's playing a little bit more comfortable around his team, and it's really showing. I mean, there's another kill on that Genji. Genji trying to dive to that backline, but being able to stop him. And there's there's Banana Man coming from Purdue on their own Genji, being able to dive in with that Winston, get that huge damage burst, forcing Whistle back. I mean, not exactly looking good right now for Valpo's team. They're going to have to regroup because it is a 3v5 until they get out.
Yeah, it seems like Purdue's just, playing with that confidence. I think, all these heroes, this team composition is one that works really, really well for them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we do see the switch on Dirty Wolf to that Reaper, trying to get a little bit more frontline pressure. As we're seeing, right, Purdue White's able to just bully because you have Winston in that top, right? You have that tank. You have Genji be able to dash in, dash out, right? And then just kind of the damage coming from Hanzo. As long as Purdue White's like front line holds up, that Hanzo isn't really much of an issue. The sleep coming out, but not enough to stop that Winston ult, as Winston does get the ult and heal himself a little bit. Being able to still jump on that Hanzo a little bit, losing him there. But the boost on that the boost coming out from Zenyatta, his ult, trying to heal on this point here for Fusik, walking in, but there's the counter ult from Zenyatta as well. Both of them walking on point. OG getting the double kill as well, one from the bounce. And there's a kill from Park as well, but Famputi ult coming out, double kill. Still has the blade up, triple kill coming in, and that's going to be huge for evening the odds as OG picks up Famputi. Still have the Reaper up on point, which is huge against this Winston. Ana being forced to back after the sleep, but Reaper still being able to sit on point here. Kiriko as well with him, cleansing a little bit. Reaper ult being up.
Yeah, this ult is huge here. I'm really going to look for him to pop this if Purdue tries to contest this point hard here and force a fight.
And there's the ult coming in from Hanzo, probably, yep, coming from the back lines. 2 kills going to Purdue White. Reaper trying to teleport behind, just trying to get out for Dirty Wolf. I mean,
yeah, I mean, they're just going to back up and regroup. They do probably have 2 more pushes here, I would say, but still, time running low, and, you can see the difference already between their attack and Purdue's attack.
I just think that Purdue has done such a great job at holding momentum this whole game. I mean, they took the aggressiveness that they were playing with earlier, and they put it into their team play. They put it into the comps that they pick. And here comes a blade coming out from Genji. Genji going down to half, trying to chip out a little bit. Dirty Wolf going down to the Hanzo, picking from the back line. Whistle jumping up to the top of that gas station, trying to get this kill on Genji. Genji dashing away, but Famputi finishing him off. Trying to get this last final push. There's the Kiriko ult. Kiriko ult with Genji and with that Winston is really dangerous here. Jumping up to that top lane. Whistle being able to push. Fusik picking up that last kill on that Ana. All that's left is Winston on point, and they're going to push this payload, trying to get this objective here.
Yeah,
With the nick
really,
of time.
really good job by Valpo, and they still save 2 ults. So they do have some hope here if they can get to this next point. Whistle taking in a little bit of damage, but
Just kind of sitting through it. A little bit of a like mental block there. It's okay.
yeah, he's a tank. He's got
Yeah,
the
exactly. Just kind
health.
of. I mean, giving ult charge is one thing, but just like taking it, hey, have fun, man. But no, we're gonna see Dirty Wolf probably look for some type of TP up top. Yep, there it is. Um, just trying to get this back lane. Um, maybe not trying to be spotted here, but not the worst thing if he gives his team an advantage. The ult coming out from Whistle to save himself here, jumping up top, kind of becoming the focus, being able to get that pick on the Zenyatta, jumping down. And here comes another kill, but Whistle, 4 health, jumping away. Really, really close there. The ult coming out from Ana, boosting that Winston. Winston trying to jump into that backline. Dirty Wolf almost going down to this Reaper here, trying to jump in, looking for heals coming from this Ana, being able to just get him there. FanPewDie being able to pick this Winston as well. And here comes the teleport up top from Dirty Wolf. Maybe looking after this Zenyatta to try and jump down here once they start to group up on this point, trying to stop this payload.
Good positioning from Purdue though. It looks like they know that Dirty Wolf has his ult. It's, not grouping up for him.
And that's a huge dash and kill coming from Banana Man, being able to dash on that Kiriko as well. Trying to jump in that back line, but Dirty Wolf being able to finish Banana Man. There's the ult coming out from Hanzo, trying to zone them off, but the ult from the Ana boost on Genji, and then Genji with the ult as well. Huge damage there going through the Zenyatta ult, which is kind of big. Zenyatta just kind of running around trying to survive, but not being able to do much as Winston is being forced to that top lane with that Hanzo. Gotta be careful though. This Hanzo, like especially in these chokeholds, those headshots on Winston are pretty big. And there's a huge kill coming in from FanPewDie as well, being able to get the pick as well and Genji on point. Just Purdue trying to stall as much time as they can before this point, knowing that their spawns are a little bit closer. They can kind of afford to just spam out those couple of seconds.
Yep, and Valpo gonna make it to the second point, so they're now gonna have about a minute 45 to push it all the way like Purdue did.
Gotta love the little charms that they're rocking with the Overwatch's "I'm sorry" post, right? Giving out those little health charms. Valpo Esports are rocking them proudly, obviously.
Oh
But,
yeah.
we're gonna see the teleport up top here. Diva being a little bit of an issue for this Reaper now, knowing that there's a definite shutdown for his ultimate. Gonna have to start focusing that mech a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean he's held on to his ultimate for so long. I was hoping we'd see it come out earlier.
Whistle getting chipped down a little bit there. A lot of huge damage.
But Park picking off to Churro, that is big for Purdue.
Yep, that's gonna force him back. There's the Ana boost on this Genji. Genji walking in, but does not have ultimate. Deciding to just save his ultimate here. Just using the normal dashes that he has.
Yeah, I mean Valpo is going to regroup, and I mean they do have 4 ultimates, but this is going to have to be a really good fight here from them.
Yep, I mean, good on the Genji from Valpo. Good on Banana Man for saving that ultimate, knowing that with Valpo, like who they had up there, you really don't need to spend it. You have the boost. That's more than enough if you trust yourself. And there's a huge sleep on this Ana, but if being woken up immediately by Diva Rockets, Winston's going to be able to force back. Fusic getting the chip on that Genji. And that kill, trying to play with this top lane here as Diva is forced back off.
Yep, and Valpo getting some good progress here, but
Park gets another chip on Churro.
man, this Hanzo has had so much impact for Purdue so far.
He's really been playing great, and there's the ultimate coming out from Dirty Wolf, but the Hanzo ult he gets caught in. Hanzo being able to push back Kiriko from Purdue being able to cleanse there. Park getting another kill on FanPewDie before going down to Wistful. Diva also on point as well, but the cleanse from Kiriko on Valpo Esports' side is going to maybe try and stop this ult. The jump up in the bubble from Winston stops the Diva ult from getting anywhere. As Winston's being forced back on point, another cleanse coming out, diving in, Ana almost going down, missing the sleep as well. Soldier being antied here, not being able to heal from his own shield. Diva being able to fly on point here. This may be Valpo's push. It is overtime. They have to be careful here. The snipe from Dirty Wolf, it's still being contested from Kiriko. There's the kill from Winston. There's a double kill there, pushing this payload. They may have time for one more contest if they dive on this point, but it's not going to be enough as Valpo matches them, going 3 points as well, but the advantage still being in Purdue's favor with almost 4 minutes on the clock for their overtime.
Yeah, I mean really good readjustments Valpo, being able to tie this up, force this to, I don't know what you call this, an extra round, extra
Yep,
time
yep.
here,
Overtime. It's
uh,
overtime.
overtime again. But still, they're gonna have to readjust again, even more here, because defense was their weaker side. So holding out
Definitely.
for 4 minutes could be pretty tough here for Valpo.
It's definitely not going to be easy for Valpo going into this fight here, but I think biggest things that I want to see them change is okay. I was going to talk about comp, right? I wanted to see the Reaper come back a little bit more because I feel like obviously they can't take the chokeholds that they can, right? They need a little bit more self-sustain. I feel like Sombra still offers that, right? With the getaway that she has, with the cloaking that she has. But we're gonna just have to see if she can get back to that backline because obviously biggest barrier that's stopping Valpo from pushing on these points is that Hanzo in that backline,
Yep.
right?
And we are going to see Valpo attacking first. Always confuses me. I figure,
Yep,
you should go the other way, but, they're attacking back to back. So, uh,
definitely. I mean, we will see the minute timer come out here. Have to be a little bit careful. Hanzo looking for a pick there, and there's the pick on Dirty Wolf. Usually in normal matches, hey, that's fine, but with a minute left on the clock, you really can't afford that for Valpo Esports, as it's going to stagger them a couple more seconds.
and
Churro
there he
also
is
going down the park.
again. Oh, my
He is
word.
he's feeling himself right now in this game, and you have to respect it. Is what I'm saying. These confidence shots that he's looking for, he's doing what Hanzo is supposed to do. Get those picks, especially when you're not having those shields, right? You have the shield from Winston, obviously, but for your backline, there's not really much. But there's the anti on Genji and the kill coming from Wistful. Getting that pick back that they wanted there. A pick on the defense is a little bit more valuable than a pick on that offense because you have to consider that how far the respawns are. There's going to be another kill on that Ana as well from Dirty Wolf. Sombra being able to jump to that backline like we asked for. Dirty Wolf getting that kill as well. We're going to see if they can get to this checkpoint here. Obviously, it's going to be overtime. There's going to be no time refresh, so they're going to have to just sit on this point. It's going to be a lot harder for Valpo to take that high ground like they're used to.
Yep, and make sure you have one member on there. The last thing you want to do is
Just walk off.
push up too far and give it to them for free. But
And there's a huge choke point for Valpo Esports, getting a triple kill from Pam Beauty, being able to walk in that back line and hack as well. We were talking about how just getting in that back line is so important for this comp, and he just cloaked. I mean, he cloaked, he sat back there, he had the ultimate, or not the ultimate, but he had the hack, he had the Winston damage go out. All he had to do was sit back there and hold that left trigger on heads.
yeah, I mean the Sombra is a really strong pick, and I mean
Nope,
I'm
here
glad
it
we're
comes
seeing it
again.
come out. But
Oh, oh, oh. Kind of dancing around a little bit, get a little motion. I mean, this only works if Valpo Esports stays on point like we asked her.
oh,
Hey, oh, that's just a huge flick coming from Hanzo. Maybe getting a little bit too close there as Hanzo turns and just pops him.
we do have the whistle online if we want to try and use it here though.
Yep. I mean, Whistle ults for Winston is kind of huge. There's the ult coming in from Diva and getting the kill on Dirty Wolf. Kind of big, but Dirty Wolf is killing Park right before that. OG getting the double kill, but there's the ultimate coming from Sombra. Not going to be able to do much there as Banana Man pops it. And here's the ultimate from Winston we were talking about that's so huge, but the anti on him is just not enough as overtime will clear out. 38 meters pushed for Valpo Esports. Considering Route 66 and the normal pushes, not bad for Valpo Esports, especially considering how their first round went last time.
Yeah, I mean you're definitely happy with that. If you're Valpo, wish you could have won that last fight, done a little bit more. But I mean, on the side of Purdue, there's just been so many standout players. I mean, I do want to talk about Azuki on the Ana. It seems like every time we're cutting to Wistful or cutting to the Reaper or something, they're just boop asleep.
Yep, there's the sleep on it. I feel like anytime we jump into a huge fight, there's always the Ana, the anti-heal on her, right? He's really been dangerous in this, and Sprout kind of playing that more passive support role right now, going with the Zenyatta, looking for that damage, looking for those orbs to be able to throw.
And I mean change-ups on both sides here. OG going for the Roadhog.
I mean, we'll see if he changes right before this, but I think this would be the first time that we've seen Roadhog get pulled out, right?
Yeah, in one of Valpo's games, I think so. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I'm not sure how familiar OG is with Roadhog. I mean, obviously, probably definitely a comfort pick here, but with the comp that they're looking for, there's the switch to Winston. Yep. I
Okay.
mean,
Yep.
probably
Just
just wanted to like throw an emote out, just have a little fun, and then switch
yeah,
back.
you know,
Yeah, but
ju- just getting us excited over nothing here on the cast.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we're looking for interesting things, right?
Yep.
Fan Beauty is switching to this Hanzo here, so I mean, they see the danger of it. Almost like we flopped comps here, which is kind of funny, except for Park. Park taking a lot of damage on this first half, but we're gonna see they're gonna elect to just not try and push this here, and there's a huge pick on that Genji by Fan Beauty. Yeah, a couple of dashes here, a couple of dodges, a couple of blocks from this Diva, just trying to reposition a little bit. Take this gas station hold. Winston trying to group up probably for Purdue White,
Yeah.
waiting for his team, but Diva is not going to let that happen. You saw the ping come out for them. And the defense matrix being able to back off point. I mean, we have a very long-range comp here coming from Valpo Esports. I like to just try and stay up there, avoid that Winston. Winston jumping up a Park, using that distraction to be able to get the kill on Ash here. We're going to see if Valpo can trade for this with the anti on this Genji. No deflect. Genji going down to Wistful. Wistful being able to push back on this point here. The Discord on him, taking a lot of damage here. Being forced back. Park getting the kill on Fan Beauty as well. Just kind of the Hanzo 1v1 looking at it. There's a couple of dash here. We have to be careful. Valpo Esports' Diva ult is coming up now, and that's going to be enough to clear point, especially if she gets into a hard part with her ult. Or with her mech getting knocked out.
There it is.
And there's the ultimate coming out. And it looks like it's going to pick up the kill on Zenyatta and just be enough to hit for him to get back onto this point contesting. Trying to zone out this Hanzo as well. Banana Man being able to dive through the backline and get the kill on Kiriko. And Banana Man getting the kill on Fan Beauty as well. OG finishing off that baby Diva. It looks like they are going to get to this first checkpoint with 2 minutes to spare. Pretty huge for Purdue White.
Yeah, this is going to be tough here for Valpo. You know, they're going to have to start getting aggressive here, you know, as the point is already moving, only needs to go 38 meters from here.
I mean, Valpo Esports can take a little bit in solace in knowing that that clock doesn't stop, right? It's going to keep going, keep going, keep going. So the more that they can just play the more that they can play to stall here, the better that they can do, really.
And here comes the Hanzo ult from Purdue.
Hanzo ult coming out, trying to just knock him off that high ground. Banana Man being able to dash in and get that kill on Fan Beauty. OG being able to take out the Zenyatta as well. Azuki finishing off the Kiriko. A little supports for support. Zenyatta ult coming out and the anti coming on Winston. That's going to be enough. Game 3 going to Purdue White.
Yep.
With an overtime win. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about standout players here. I really don't think that win is possible without Park.
Yeah.
Park's Hanzo has really come alive.
I mean, before we get to the Hanzo, it's OG again here. Play the game back to back.
I mean, it's Overwatch 2. What do we expect the tanks to have other than play the game, right? They're always in that fight. Even the triple kill on Fan Beauty during that play, not enough.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Winston be able to jump in, get that damage, get those kills. I mean, talking about just Park being comfortable on that Hanzo, it was huge because those picks, as we saw, so dangerous. So dangerous.
Yeah.
It really like stopped the momentum of Valpo, especially because we saw a lot of these fights that Valpo wanted to enter into, right? That 5-on-5 fight they were very confident about, but any pick, right? A 4v5, 5v5, it's insane. And it looks like Park's saying in chat, I don't know how I hit any of those shots at the beginning of your attack. We were talking about it. That was nasty.
Yeah,
that kill on that Sojourn was enough to set them back for a pretty good amount.
Yeah, and I mean also picking the Kiriko too. You know, I feel like it was really about the DPS gameplay. You know, Dirty Wolf did not look like he was having a good time going against that Hanzo.
Definitely a little bit rougher of a time. Fan Beauty kind of finding a couple of niche characters to play around, right? Especially that Sombra making a big difference. But
yeah, and I mean we've seen the Sombra, you know, come out before. It's something that we know he's capable of. So we see Purdue White here, forcing it to a fourth map, which will be Esperanza, a push map. But before we get into that, we are going to take a quick break. So we will see you shortly for map 4.
And
All
welcome back,
right.
everyone. We are starting off of Game 4 of Valpo Esports' series against Purdue White, right? Going into Esperanza, right? A push map. We talked about it. A little bit more open once we get past this first objective. I feel like if Valpo Esports can take advantage of these kind of roundabouts that we're seeing here on the map right now, um, definitely going to go in their favor. But after that first objective, right, where we saw that, as we speculated, right, Valpo likes to take these kind of close range engages, but having that range, especially with the DPS on Purdue White's side,
Yeah, and
that,
I mean we're seeing it again here. Sorry to interrupt you,
of
but
course, of
you
course.
know, Park and Banana Man, the same exact picks that thrived on Route 66. You know, I think this is another good map for Hanzo, so
Hmm.
could be tough again for Valpo. You know.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we're gonna see the Park Hanzo come out again, right? That's kind of expected now. He did pop off as it last time, man. Um, as we like walk in, right? Being a league streamer myself, right? Like being someone that's interested, usually cast the league games. This would be the time that like before the game we ban Hanzo. We make sure that they can't play Hanzo, but as they're entering in, sadly Overwatch doesn't have that feature. So we're gonna see him pop off here as the first like entry point, kind of first fights that we're seeing here. Whistle taking a lot of damage here. Just a couple of like trades. Right, or Reaper being able to use that damage, but Banana Man being able to dive to the backline, get that kill on Fusick, and that's an early pick for Purdue White.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about it before, and I want to bring it up here, but we're finally seeing Azuki bring out the Kiriko. I'm really excited to see how Purdue does with this competition.
I mean, we saw the Kiriko come out last game as well on that Route 66 a little bit, but it was just really, really impactful. So to see that they're comfortable with it enough that, hey, we're going to take a second game as well, it really, I mean, we talked about the utility that it offers, and we're seeing that work right now for Purdue White. Being able to take that advantage in that first push. Just Valpo kind of getting split up a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, I wonder if you look for switch up on Valpo's side because, you know, I feel like you need to protect these supports more. You know, it's always Fusk and Churro getting picked off, which is, you know, a huge loss for them.
Definitely. I mean, we have to give credit to, well, obviously we talk about Park being like the majority damage man, but we have to give credit to Banana Man as well. Kind of just being able to dive in that backline. I almost see him getting a pick consistently on backlines. One of them is getting a kill on that support. So I think it's so important. And there's the Kiriko already, the charge coming up really fast, obviously being pretty impactful in that last fight. And that's going to give him enough for the Zarya ult to come out as well. Zarya almost going down, but the bubble popping up as well. Both kills going down on Valpo Esports' Zarya and on Famputi's Reaper.
Man, I mean, the way this is going, it kind of feels
This is dangerous. I mean, we're talking.
It feels like Purdue's just ready to roll right into a fifth map. Like.
I mean, Purdue. Hey, this is push, so that's quite a possibility. There is no change of round, right? It's just this.
Yeah.
So if they just want to run straight, they can run straight all they want. It does not matter.
I mean, they're already over halfway to the win. Like, this number's just been ticking up. But
Valpo Esports is really going to need to look for a change here. The Lucio ult coming in to counter that Zarya ult coming from Valpo. Keeping people alive, but the Kiriko ult coming out as well. We might see a couple of picks going down for Valpo Esports' side. Famputi being pushed in with that Reaper ult, Whistle picking up 2 off of the back of that, 3 off of that Genji, and that's the team kill that we were looking for. Did take a couple of ults, but they did save that Lucio ult. They saved that Sojourn ult as well.
yeah, Valpo finally gonna get the robot going in the right direction, but did take 3 ultimates, a ton of utility used for them. So
Definitely. I mean, great first push for Purdue. That's really what you want to look for on this push map, especially considering that next time you get that robot, it's going to sprint right back to where you were. And there's a pick coming from both sides. Dirty Wolf going down on Valpo's side, but Park going down as well. The ult coming into the backline from that Genji, but Lucio ulting to combo it as well. Sprout picking up the kill on Famputi, just kind of finishing him. The advantage going in Purdue White's side as they do pick up that robot, and they're running it right back.
yep, they have the man advantage. They know they can just push forward, but there's Dirty Wolf with the pick, and he does have the ultimate up too if he wants it.
And it looks like off of that pick, I mean, push is a very, very like topsy-turvy kind of objective, right? You get one pick, you get two picks. That's when you take that advantage and you run that.
Yep, but still a big lead for Purdue. Valpo's gonna need to start winning a couple more of these engagements in a row to get our little mechanical friend here further down the road. So
Definitely, definitely. Do you know that if you say hi at the robot, he says hi back?
I did not.
It's really great. I love it so much. But and there's gonna be the ult from Zarya picking off a little bit of the backline. FanPewDie being able to jump back and kill Park here. OG and Azuki picking up a double kill, and the push is gonna be back in Purdue's favor. Triple kill going up there. I mean, we're seeing that there's a little bit of more of a focus being put on Park on that Hanzo. He's really being the first one that always goes down in these fights for Purdue's side, but that's working out because Banana Man and OG just kind of walk back.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a singular, ban Hanzo if you could and win,
Yeah.
or focus Hanzo and win, because it seems like, Purdue is so deep. Banana Man's ready to, pick up the mantle and do just as much damage, so.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, we're going to see a little bit here. Interesting part is Zarya coming out, never mind. Both Zaryas coming out, I think both missing. As we walk in, Banana Man being caught out by the point. Almost full charge Zarya just kind of walking in, beaming, but beaming right back into that Zarya kill as OG picks up as well. FanPewDie being able to dash in, get two, get almost three here, having to reload.
Oh, finally picking up the pick on Kiriko for Valpo, and gonna
There's
chase
the
down the
kill.
Zarya too.
And there's the flip as well. I mean, I think the most interesting part about the positioning that people play on push maps is that you find that teams will never like stick to the payload like it's a payload, right? They'll play almost this back and forth like ping pong game with it, where I'm gonna play under this bridge, you play under there. The robot just changes possession each one until one of us decides to dive in, right? That kind of ping ponging we saw right there works out a little bit better for that defense as they're kind of playing fights on their own terms.
Yeah, and it is a little bit different than Escort, because I believe you only need one member on the robot to move. We're going to see the Kiriko ult come in here, and the Genji ult.
And this is going to be huge if you can get past that Lucio ult as well. Not going to be able to really do much here. One last dash and kill, but it's not going to be enough damage for Whistle to clean up the mess. Getting that double kill in the backline, but Purdue's backline is starting to push back a little bit. And there's a team kill for Valpo Esports again.
Yeah.
It looks like they're starting to take this advantage here.
They're starting to find their rhythm, and I think it really comes off the back of this FanPewDie switch to Genji. The Genji's been having a ton of impact, picking off Purdue's Kiriko and, their other squishy members.
And we're going to have to worry about here. We're starting to get into more of a narrow spot here, and there's the two ults coming out from Zarya and Genji on Purdue white side. That combo there, being able to pick up two, forcing Park to pick up the third there on Dirty Wolf, and was just kind of caught behind. Kiriko looking to try and shift to their teammate, but not being able to go as their Lucio is kind of just pushing their point. If we notice, the objective is already back at mid side. Fusik being able to run back, trying to just boost his team.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so easy to lose sight of, It's chaotic action, you're just fighting, and then all of a sudden, where'd the robot go,
Oh, for sure, yeah. Just got disappointed. And there's the Zarya ult coming up from Valpo Esports with Kiriko on Purdue's side, popping ult as well. Just kind of a stalemate there, but OG is going to pick up the kill on Wistful. Genji in this backline, the cleanse from Kiriko. FanPewDie trying to deflect a little bit, got three on him, not going to be able to get that kill, but Dirty Wolf picks up the kill on Park. Almost full boost Zarya getting that kill.
Yep, and unfortunately for Valpo, Purdue's going to start making more progress. They did really well to get 70 meters, but not quite enough to take the lead, and now he's all the way on the other side of the map.
Yep, you have to be careful here. This is starting to enter a danger zone for Valpo. Once he turns that corner here, it's going to be really, really hard to stop this push point. But there's just a tracking menace right there from that Zarya, just being able to kind of laser beam down Banana Man. Park going down as well. It looks like Valpo Esports is going to take the advantage here, being able to run back, push this objective backwards. FanPewDie picking up a triple kill right there. Just something slight, something nice for FanPewDie. Just a little bit of a gift.
I mean, and he still hangs on to the ultimate, so...
Yep. I mean, we're looking... I think if I'm Valpo right here, we're looking for that Kiriko Genji combo.
I
I
mean,
mean,
at this point, if you're Valpo, just because of how long the robot takes to move, you can't lose a fight here. You know, this is crunch time. You gotta lock in.
definitely. I mean, minute left, you have to be able to clear up these meters. You got about 10 meters left on this robot here. One pick on this Genji here would actually be huge. It looks like they are going to go for that Kiriko and dash ult, but the Lucio ult comes out as well to try and counter it. Maybe trying to get this kill on that Park, but Park is able to dash away with the extra health that he has, get that kill. Dirty Wolf picking up a kill on their backline. Dirty Wolf 2 kills on the backline as well. 3 kills, almost the Quadra. Fusic finishing off that Lucio, and they are going to take this point and tie it up and take the advantage. Now the lead in Valpo's favor, so really they have that push time now. If they're looking for that overtime, they can play that overtime. That pressure is off now.
That was the fight they needed, and Purdue's only gonna have 15 seconds if they wanna try to keep their hopes alive.
And there's a huge kill. We're seeing Dirty Wolf pop off now.
Oh!
For a triple kill as well. Maybe looking for 4 on this Zarya, but Zarya is already full boost. Not much you can do. Wistful being able to pick up the kill. Wistful with the double kill, finishing off the team fight. And that's going to be game. And that's going to be series for Valpo Shield. Being able to win it out 3-1 in these games. We're going to look at just kind of this play of the game. I'm really expecting either Dirty Wolf. There's Wistful. Kind of either, I was about to say either expecting Dirty Wolf, Panpudi, or this Wistful. And we're seeing here just kind of that combo, being able to speed boost that Reaper in, that shield on that Zarya.
Yep. I mean, this was, one of the earlier fights, one of the ones that, really turned the game when they were at a big deficit there. And I mean, Dirty Wolf at the end, just when you need him,
he came in clutch. I mean,
looking a little rough, but,
that was
in the clutch.
Definitely. That was 2 back-to-back triple kills that he had. One without his ult, one with his ult. Being able to jump down on point, give his team a little bit of clearance. I think the biggest thing that we can take away from this series is how much DPS influence was on the game. We saw the games that Purdue took, right? The rounds that they took, their DPS, Park, and Banana Man were working in tandem. But I mean, with Valpo, the games that they took was due to the positioning, maybe not so much picks, right? Obviously, we saw the flashy plays come out, but
Hmm.
the positioning that they have, the pressure that they put, allowed Wistful to just kind of steamroll, right, and just get that power in, run up, and run through people. So
Yeah, I mean, really great individual skill on the side of Purdue, but, it seemed like Valpo put together the pieces and played, more cohesive as a team, which was ultimately, why they came out on top. And, 3-1, kind of lying. I mean, this felt like a 3-2. It
it
was.
did feel like a 3-2, especially with the way that Purdue was playing in those first rounds. I mean, you mentioned it, right? Communication is key,
Mhm.
and really that's not at all like possible without the sponsor that we have today, Rig Headsets. Thank you so much for like our sponsor, right? We love the support that we have, and obviously making good use of it, coming out 3-1 in this series, taking this win, right?
Yeah, I mean, you saw the impact. We just got these in yesterday. This was their first game wearing the new gear. So really coming in clutch with a win. I think the headsets are working.
I think it was a Rig Headset diff, honestly. I
And
mean, that's what we're looking for.
we're still waiting for ours in here. We've got some higher end ones coming in for the streamer for the production here. So we cannot wait for those. And
I'm very excited. I'm
our
very excited.
casting skills will increase too when that come
Definitely,
in. So
definitely. We'll get a little bit of a buff from that as well. But
yes, yes.
we want to thank you guys for watching. We do have another game coming up at 9 o'clock, or
10 o'clock
10 o'clock,
actually.
sorry.
For
It's,
all you late night birds out
of
there.
course, of course. We do have a game coming up at 10 o'clock as well. Is that our Valpo Beacon?
Yep,
Yep.
our Beacon team would be facing off against Augustana, so just a couple hours if you want to come back. We won't be here. We're switching out the guard, but
Yep.
yeah, still just as good as Overwatch gameplay. So
Definitely. So, thank you for coming out. Thank you for the support and everything. We hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Take a nice like coffee break, take a nice late night break, right? Grab a couple of snacks, and then be back here 10 o'clock for our Valpo Beacon game. We'll see y'all.